I pet a cat this morning in the street. She was just there waiting for me, and I just kneeled. And she started, working around me, and then she flopped multiple times. I don't know if you've ever seen a cat flop around you, but this is such a proof of trust and just like complete like surrender to whatever can happen to them. And yeah, I just spent a few minutes there just petting her, and she was flopping and flopping and flopping on the floor, and it was really cute. And that moment brought me so much joy, first of all, and reminding me to just accept when you see things happening, just be present with it, and just like enjoy the moments. And it also reminded me that I have weirdly turned into a cat lover who will pet every single cat she sees in the street if the cat is willing and available. And that is obviously a quirk. Maybe you know people like this. Maybe it's like some funny thing about me that I realize it's a quirk now, and I feel sometimes quirks need to be celebrated as well, or they need to be spoken out loud or just shared with people, because I feel they tell a lot about who you are as a person in the simplest way and in the more like natural and authentic way. Things like tiny things like this that are more revealing, and I think that's always the fun part about getting to know someone. It's not necessarily okay. It's interesting to know as well their values and what they do in life, and in general how they are evolving. But I also like to know, okay, what is the weirdest stuff that you do? What is the little habit that is only yours, and that actually tells me a lot about the type of person that you are and about your personality, and how fun you can be, how interesting you can be to be around. And yeah, I thought today I will do a celebration of this, of my quirks, sharing a few with you that I honestly cannot imagine living without. I think they are now part of me, and they probably will tell you a lot about me. And I also want to hear yours in the comments, because I also want to get to know you. If you've been watching these videos regularly, or if you're just discovering this channel, just drop them down below so that we can all celebrate our own weirdness in a way. And yeah, there are a few quirks I live by that are very much part of my daily life or regular life. The first one is that I am a coffee shop addict. I found it very hard to work from home. I love going to a coffee shop in the morning for hours, locked in, doing whatever I have to do. And it's very strange because I'm somebody who also enjoys a lot of silence. And going to a coffee shop, usually it's like, there is a lot of movement around, there is a lot of noise, there is music that is not always my taste, or sometimes it is, and I discover a new artist. Actually, I have Shazam so many times music I was hearing, and this has been some of my best my best discoveries. And I just found it very nice to have like a separate environment where you can go, compared to being in this small room that feels like a box sometimes. And I'm typically the person who is going to sit at the same spot and have the proper place, particularly for the coffee shops where I'm a regular. I know where I want to sit, and this is where I go it automatically. Like the waitress and the waiters always know I'm gonna sit there. They now know in most cases what I'm going to order. So this also feels like a really good way to like know the people who are living locally, but also feel recognized. Like when you are the regular at the coffee shop, it's always very nice. Like I'm now go to a place where I don't even need to order anymore. I just sit, and then my coffee is ready for me in 5 minutes. And I'm always impressed because sometimes it's even with new waiter or waitresses, or sometimes it's a bigger coffee shop or like a bigger brand where I go, and I was there for like a few times only, and one of the guy was still able to remember that. And it's always like surprising to me that people remember your presence, and that they do this kind of gesture. So I really, really love that. I really love to sit in a space where I have the full view of the coffee shop. So with my back towards something, and then the full view, not too far away from the toilet. That's very precise and very accurate, but maybe you can relate to this in a way if you're also somebody who works on the computer a lot, and sometimes you just need to go out there and like be in a different space. I feel it helps with creativity. It helps with assigning spaces to different tasks as well. And yeah, this is my passion. Coffee shop addict, currently a regular in 3 coffee shops around where I live in London, and then always testing a few more wherever I can. Another thing that I also have as a big quirk that has been developed over the last years when I was living in Oxford, which is one of the most beautiful and full of nature place, with water and river and lakes and trees and lots of animals and different places where like if you're in Oxford, you are in a city center, but then you just go 5 minutes in one direction and you are in the middle of nowhere, completely lost with the cows and the sheep and everything. Even one llama, I saw one llama one time in the field with sheep. It was very interesting. But yeah, I have developed a passion for British wildlife, and I think wildlife in general. So I like to go to parks and watch the birds. So I have particular passion for herons. I've seen them everywhere with their feet in the water, waiting patiently, graceful. I see a lot of like moorhens and like swans and things like this. There is also in London, interesting fact, there are also a lot of green parrots, like it's called parakeets. It's like very strange because it is a type of bird that you will see as well in Barcelona, for instance. And apparently they are just like pets that have been released by their owners in the wild, and then they became a big part of the London London wildlife somehow, which makes absolutely no sense. But here they are, and there are specific places in some parks where you can find them, and they come and they eat in your hand if you want, or like they can sit on your hand as well. Um, I have also there are also like a lot of other birds. Like there is this I call it a bouncy bird. I don't know what it is, but there is a bird next to where I live where there is like a tiny marina with some boats that is going to the Thames. And there is this bird, and he's always bouncing with his tail like this, and it's very cute to watch. And of course, I cannot talk about British wildlife without mentioning the squares. The squares are a big part of the English experience. If you ever come to London, this will be your encounter. I like to talk to them. I like to talk to them in French. Don't ask me why, but they seem to be resonating or at least observing me, and then kind of engaging in the contact a little bit. I'm not crazy, I swear. And foxes. Oh my god! I had prayed to see a fox in London. I wrote a post about it on LinkedIn, and then like 1 week later, I saw a fox for the first time in the middle of the street during the day in the garbage area. I saw another one recently, just going to a coffee shop in the Sunday morning. There was another one in the middle of London. It's quite crazy. So yeah, interesting interesting encounters as well. Which is one of the things that I actually love about London is that you can be in the city, but there are places where you will be surrounded by nature and you will forget that you are in a big city like this. So yeah, passion for British wildlife. Quirk number 2. Quirk number 3 is going outside every single day. I used to be somebody who was going to be, stay inside. Sometimes if I did not want to go anywhere any day, I'm just going to stay in my pajamas the whole day or like very comfy clothes. And I changed this a few years ago because I realized I just needed some fresh air from time to time. And I've now become somebody who is constantly outside if I can. For sure, I keep myself accountable to go outside every single day, even if it's just for like a short 20-minute walk. I think I've not yeah, I don't think I've missed a day for at least like 5 years or something, except if I'm really sick and I'm not allowed to go outside. But outside of this, I really enjoy the fact to be in a different environment, the fact to walk, particularly without any music or anything, because you can just let your brain think. And I also enjoy, this is a strange thing, I enjoy getting lost. So I'm the type of person who, particularly in London, I don't use my phone to know where I'm going. I'm just walking, and then I see, oh, there is a street that looks cute there. I'm just gonna go and follow. I like to observe the architecture in general. Like if I go to a city, it's not to visit the museum, it's not to talk to people, it's not to eat the food, local food or whatever. It's always about the architecture and the vibe that you get when you are walking through the street. This is usually what I resonate with. And yeah, particularly in London, you can do this as much as you want. And there are always like in London, they put this kind of map for tourists basically every like, I don't know, 500, no, 200 meters or something. Like basically, if you walk in one direction and you start thinking, oh, am I going in the right direction? There will be one of these maps available for you to check right there when you need it. So it's very well thought, and I found it very nice to be able to, to go to different places, not overthinking it, just like let yourself be led by whatever. And yeah, I think getting lost is a is a quirk of mine in a good way, and just going outside and enjoying that. Another of my quirk is dancing. This one is not public yet, oh, kind of it. I remember when I was a young girl, I was doing dance. So I was doing like modern dance, jazz. I was doing like I was going to a school, and I was doing the shows at the end of the year. And then I took again dance like this, I think during my PhD, so much have been like maybe 10 years ago. And as a grown-up was a bit different because you start being aware of your body and how you come across and whether or not you are doing the things perfectly. I think you get a lot of like exposure to be seen when you are dancing in public. So I've always had a kind of strange relationship with dance. Like I've done it as a sport, basically, but I've never really enjoyed doing it for the performance thing, a part of it. And I also remember that I was reading a book, I don't remember her name, from the holistic psychologist, and she was writing something about how she learned to dance freely in front of people, and how for her it was a very liberating experience. Like it was the first time that she really understood, understood or accepted her own body, and just yeah, just kind of feel good in just existing and just being free, and not taking care, not like paying attention to anybody else. And this is something I've been working so hard, because I would like to, one day just be the crazy person dancing in the streets. But yeah, I've took some steps. So I used to do events from Tony Robbins, which are like massive events online. And the first one I did, they basically, there are moments where they make us dance, and I was an attendee at the time. And during the dance break, sometimes they put on the big screen for everybody to see. They select some cameras where they can see the person is really dancing fully and giving a lot of energy. And I happened to be shown to at least 30,000 people for a few minutes, a few times during that event of 4 days. And it was crazy to me, because it's like, oh, actually, when I dance and I'm just at home on my own, obviously there is a camera and somebody is seeing me, but if I just feel free in my environment and I'm just giving whatever energy I have without overthinking it, actually it is noticed, and it's actually presented as an example for 30,000 people. So I did this, I did that again. I was crewing a similar event, but this time in person, and they were asking the crew members in the morning to come and dance on stage, and I was like, I'm gonna do this. So I danced in front of like 300 people this time, just the crew members. But for me, it was the first time, to be exposed in public, with thinking that actually I just wanted to share my presence with people. So now I'm looking for the next experience. The next experience should be dancing in front of 30 people that I don't know, and maybe in front of 3, and then maybe I'm just going to be cured from whatever relationship I had with dance. But I also do at home a lot. I like dancing at home just in the morning before you go out there, just to get some energy or expose whatever energy I have, or even in the evening as well. Before that, sometimes I dance like a crazy person, and it kind of energizes me, but it kind of burns any energy I have left, and it helps me get out of my head. So always good to have a good playlist to go with that, obviously. And my last quirk is being a serial binge watcher. How can I say that? I have some obsessions with some series and some music as well. So like series, for instance, I have a few series that I'm watching over and over and over and over and over again. It's not just I see it, one time and I watch it 6 months ago, 6 months afterwards. No, it's like sometimes I watch the same series just to fall asleep. Like for instance, I like The Residence on Netflix. I really love it. And there's so much details anyway that it took me a few reps to just notice everything that was going on, and really get the whole quality of the series. But in general, it's really calm. It makes me want to fall asleep. It feels like a comfort for my body. It's like, oh, I know what's going to happen, and I know it's good, so I'm gonna do this. So there are like things like this, like Residence, like Scrubs. I've been watching this so many times. Hercule Poirot as well. In the older days, this was one of my series reference, and Taylor Swift documentaries as well. They're very good to help me feel good and process emotions, and just like feel inspired and joyful as well. So there are like things like this where I know I'm gonna get a positive emotion. It's like, okay, let me watch that. The new series that is coming out, okay, I'll watch it another time. But first, I'm gonna rewatch this thing that I already know almost by heart, and I can tell which moment I love, and things like this. But I feel it brings a lot of comfort to my brain, which can be linked to neurodivergence. I believe it's probably one of these things that is really helping my nervous system. And I also have the same thing with music. So I used to call this music bulimia initially, because this is how it feels. It's like, ooh, I discover one artist, one song, and I'm gonna play this on repeat for like days and days and days and days and days, so much that sometimes when Spotify does my end of year review, the wrap up, it's like, oh, you are part of a 0.001% of fan for this artist. How come? It's like, oh, well, that's because I listened to it only in January, but for the whole January, for every single minute of my life. So yeah, I have this type of connection with music as well, with specific song, or specific, music. Like I mentioned Taylor Swift, I love singing the bridges of her songs. Like some of the songs is just, I'm listening to it and I'm working on something, and then in the middle I start like dancing and singing, and all these things. Is like there's just a real connection with my between my body and some of these things, like whether it's series and music. And yeah, that's something that might look a little bit obsessive for some people, but I feel it's representative of who I am. So yeah, these are my quirk: being a coffee shop addict, having a passion for British wildlife, going outside every day and getting lost a lot, and dancing, or at least building a relationship with dance, and binge watching as much as I can until my brain decides one day I'm gonna stop and do something else. So yeah, this is me. I think that gives you a lot of ideas about who I am as a person and who I am to, if you were around me, how I would be behaving. And I really love to see in the comment as well, what are the quirks that you live by? Why do they make you so happy? And you know, why do you keep them in your life? I would really like to hear. And yeah, if you don't know me yet, my name is Chloe, and I'm doing a 80-day daily video challenge on YouTube until I turn 40, which is going to be in 13 days, very, very soon. And yeah, I'm just reviewing my entire life, reviewing, you know, my philosophies, my habits, what makes me me, and just trying to kind of get a clear picture of that, and declutter everything that is not working for me as well. So just trying to kind of it's a kind of spring cleaning before I turn 40, if I can call it like this. So if you want to follow the journey, and if there are maybe like something that are inspiring for you as well in this process, you can subscribe to the channel down below, and I see you tomorrow for another video.